Betwabo, beautiful people. Betwabo, Betwabo. Today is May the 22nd, 2020. Betwabo, everybody's birthday today. Two of my sons, my two oldest sons, Elijah's birthday is today. Jeremiah's birthday is today. I got a niece birthday today, Jordan. My nephew birthday today, Jonathan. My aunt birthday today, Aunt Valerie. I got a friend whose birthday is today, Cherry Davis. Matter of fact, TT, I think you got a friend whose birthday is today. Is it Kenya? Or she share the same birthday as you? Like, everybody was born today, y'all. So, happy birthday to ya. Happy birthday to ya. Happy birthday. Happy birthday, y'all. All right. I would have given everybody's ages, but since I don't know them all except for my two, I will not give them, So, all right, y'all. So today we began the additions, what they call it. This calls it the additions to the roll. What's this? Also called the roll of the additions to Esther. But it's chapters that were not added when the rest of the Book of Esther that was canonized with the Bible was put together. So Esther is also her Hebrew name. I think we said that in a regular book too. It's called Hadassah. That's her Hebrew name. Matter of fact, when it first introduced her, called her Hadassah or Hadaka, just depending on which version you're looking at. But it's Esther. All right, y'all. So we can get started. This has 15 chapters. So it's gonna take us 15 chapters. It'll take us a few days since we're doing 3 a day. About a week, about 5 days. Yep. All right, y'all. I wanted to. No, let's just get to the reading today. All right. What is this? And let's just say the missing chapters of Esther. All right, chapter 1. In the second year of the reign of Artaxerxes the Great, in the first day of the month of Nisan, Mordecai, the son of Yair, the son of Shimei, the son of Kish, of the tribe of Benjamin, had a dream, who was a Yehudi, and dwelt in the city of Shusha, a great man, being a servitor in the king's court. I mean, he was in service to the king. And remember, Yehudim is a Jew, somebody from the kingdom of Judah, right? He was also one of the captives which Nebuchadnezzar, the king of Babel, carried away from Jerusalem with Jeconiah, or Jeconiah, king of Judah, and this was his dream. Behold, a noise of a tumult with thunder and earthquakes and uproar in the land. And behold, 2 great dragons came forth ready to fight, and their cry was great. And at their cry all nations were prepared to battle, that they might fight against the righteous people. And lo, a day of darkness and obscurity, tribulation and anguish, affliction and great uproar upon the earth. And the whole righteous nation was troubled, fearing their own evils, and were ready to perish. Then they cried unto Elohim, and upon their cry, as it were from a little fountain, was made a great flood, even much water. The light and the sun rose up, and the lowly were exalted, and devoured the glorious. Now when Mordecai, who had seen this dream and what Elohim had determined to do, was awake, he bore his dream in mind, and until night by all means was desirous to know it. Chapter 2. And Mordecai took his rest in the court with Bigtha and Teresh, the 2 eunuchs of the king and keepers of the palace. Remember, we heard of them too in the regular book of Esther, right? These were the 2 who were plotting against the king to kill him, and Mordecai overheard what happened, and he told somebody about it, and then they caught him, they killed him, and this is why Mordecai's life was saved when Haman was plotting to kill him. At the last moment, somebody said, well, the king couldn't sleep that night. He said, okay, what was done for this guy who informed us about this plot on me? They said, King, nothing was done for him. He said, go find him. He called him, hey, what shall be done for the man whom the king delights to honor. And Haman, his big head, thinking the king would talk about him, he said, oh, this need to be done, this, put him on the finest robes, the robes that the king wore, put his crown on his head, and get the king's finest chariot, and then parade him through town and say, this is the man whom the king delights to exalt, or, he want to put him on parade. He said, do that, king, do that. He said, yeah. Go do what you just said. Get Mordecai. Do that to him. Put all that stuff on Mordecai. Get my crown. Get my chariot. He go parade him through town and do that. Oh, he was raw. Haman was raw. Okay. I start over. Chapter 2. And Mordecai took his rest in the court with Bigtha and Teresh, the 2 eunuchs of the king and keepers of the palace. And he heard their devices and searched out their purposes and learned that they were about to lay hands upon Artaxerxes the king. And so he certified the king of them. Then the king examined the 2 eunuchs, and after they had confessed it, they were strangled. And the king made a record of these things. And Mordecai also wrote thereof. And the king commanded Mordecai to serve in the court, and for this he rewarded him. Howbeit, Haman, the son of Hammedatha the Agagite, who was in great honor with the king, sought to molest Mordecai and his people because of the 2 eunuchs of the king. That was chapter 2. We on our last chapter already. We've been on here like 4 minutes. All right, chapter 3. We got about 22 verses. Now it came to pass in the days of, I don't know who this one is. Achashverosh. This is Achashverosh, which reigned from India even unto Cush over 107 and 20 provinces. I'm going to look up this name and I'll post it, y'all. I'm going to put chapter 3. This was the king. And here's who he is in the regular Bible, because I don't remember his name. All right. This is Achashverosh, which reigned from India even unto Cush over 107 and 20 provinces. In those days when the king Achashverosh sat on the throne of his kingdom, which was in Shushan the palace, in the 3rd year of his reign, he made a feast unto all his princes and his servants, the power of Persia and Media, the nobles and the princes of the provinces being before him, when he showed at the riches of his glorious kingdom. You know what this is, y'all? This is Artaxerxes. Why did he change his name? I'm gonna double check it, y'all, because this is the same king. When he showed at the riches of his glorious kingdom, and at the honor of his excellent majesty many days, even 180 days. And when these days were expired, the king made a feast unto all the people that were present in Shushan the palace, both unto great and small, 7 days in the court of the garden of the king's palace, where were white, green, and blue hangings, fastened with cords of fine linen and purple, to silver rings and pillars of marble. The beds were of gold and silver upon the pavement of red and blue and white and black marble. And they gave them drinking vessels of gold, the vessels being diverse from one another, and royal wine in abundance according to the state of the king. Yes, this is King Artaxerxes. Why would they change his name? Because this sentence is the same word for word from the regular Book of Esther. And the drinking was according to the law, none did compel, for so the king had appointed to all the officers of his house that they should do according to every man's pleasure. Also Vashti the queen made a feast for the women in the royal house which belonged to king. It says Achashverosh, but it's Artaxerxes. And up here is Artaxerxes the Great. All right. On the 7th day, when the heart of the king was merry with wine, he commanded Mehuman, Biztha, Carvona, Bigtha, Avagtha, Zithar, and Karkak, the 7 chamberlains that served in the king's presence of Artaxerxes the king, to bring Vashti the queen before the king with the crown royal, to show the people and the princes her beauty, for she was fair to look upon. Something, and I think I said, I'm just kind of skipping over. Remember last year when we were reading through, that's the name they use in the Sefer in the Book of Esther. Yeah, it is, but it's 2 names that they use in Tiffany, but it's the same king. Also, remember, this is the Et. See that? They call it the Et Sefer. And everywhere, and see, here is where I know, because if you have a Sefer, you will see this Et all through here. You will see it in like Genesis and everywhere where Yahuwah spoke or there was like commands given by him or things that were in the original scrolls. You will see that sign, that X, and it's also here through this book. So when they canonized it, because they really didn't understand or why it was there, they just took it out altogether. So it's not there, but it's actually in here. So if you hear me say "at," that's what it is. I don't want to skip over because I just realized it was doing it, and I realized I was skipping over it. Okay, so I don't want to do that. All right, verse where I stopped at. I'll go back to 11. To bring Vashti the queen before the king with the crown royal, to show the people and the princes at her beauty, for she was fair to look upon. But the queen Vashti refused to come at the king's commandment by his chamberlains. Therefore the king was very wroth, and his anger burned in him. Then the king said to the wise men which knew the times, for so was the king's manner toward all that knew the law and judgment. And the next unto him was Karshina, Shethar, Admatha, Tarshish, Mirak, Marcina, and Memucan, the 7 princes of Persia and Madi, which saw the king's face, which sat in the first kingdom. What shall we do unto the queen Vashti according to the law, because she has not performed at the commandment of the king Artaxerxes by the chamberlains? And Memucan answered before the king and the princes, Vashti the queen has not done wrong to the king only, but also to all the princes and to all the people that are in all the provinces of King Artaxerxes. For this deed of the queen shall come abroad unto all women, so that they shall despise their men in their eyes when it shall be reported. The king Artaxerxes commanded Vashti the queen to be brought before him, but she came not. Likewise the ladies of Persia and Media say this day unto all the king's princes which have heard of at the deed of the queen, thus shall there arise too much contempt and wrath. Remember, this is almost word for word in the Book of Esther, what we're reading here. If it please the king, let there go a royal commandment from him, and let it be written among the laws of the Persians and the Magi, that it not be altered, that Vashti come no more before the king Artaxerxes, and let the king give her royal estate unto another that is better than she. And when the king's decree, which he shall make, shall be published throughout all his empire, for it is great, all the women shall give to their men honor, both great and small. And the sayings pleased the king and the princes, and the king did according to the word of Memucan. For he sent the Sephir into all the king's provinces, and to every province according to the writing thereof, and to every people after their language, that every man should bear rule in his own house, and that it should be published according to the language of every people. And that, my beautiful people, is our reading for today. This is the Missing Books of Esther, chapters 1, 2, and 3. And it's going there. It should have just put the whole thing in there, because what's in there, they just kind of like took out and just called it Esther and left the rest of it here. So we'll get to all this. And you'll notice when we get to it, you'll notice what was missing when we get to it. All right, y'all. I ain't really got much to say. It is Friday, May 22nd, 2020, day 152. Like I said, we just read the additions to Esther, and I hate that. I keep saying that. I'm gonna stop doing that. Let's just put the missing books of Esther. Okay, y'all. So with that being said, we'll go ahead and do the blessing, which is found where? Numbers chapter 6, verses 22 through 27, beautiful people. And Yahuwah spake unto Moses, saying, Speak unto Aaron and unto his sons, saying, On this wise shall ye bless the children of Israel, saying unto them, May Yahuwah bless us and keep us. May Yahuwah make his face to shine upon us and be gracious unto us. May Yahuwah lift up his countenance upon us and give us his peace. And they shall put my name upon the children of Israel, and I will bless them. All right, beautiful people, I love y'all, and I will see y'all bright and early on the morrow. Peace.